Hey Kiersten, this is okay, there we go. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I could get that added, so I wanted to take a look at the question. So sorry that took me a second. So I wanted to break this question down a little bit. This one was kind of a tough one, but I think I'm going to tell you how I took it and see how I think we might be overthinking it. You're definitely approaching it the right way. As you said, you use your D over H times Q, and that is totally fine. I know Ms. Vaughn probably uses dimensional analysis, and sometimes that can be pretty confusing. But let me show you what I would do in this question. So, so just looking through it, it says admit patient to labor and delivery for preeclampsia, continuous fetal monitoring, hourly vital signs, Foley cath, nothing by mouth, strict input and output, bed rest. So there's a lot of things that are being told to us in this, so it can be pretty confusing. So here's where I can see it gets almost even more confusing. It says start an IV with 18 grams and begin LR at 75 milliliters per hour. Then it says to start 4-gram bolus of magnesium sulfate bolus to infuse over 30 minutes and then maintain the magnesium sulfate drip at 2 grams per hour. So this one up here, just looking at, what's told to us in the text here, it says start 4-gram bolus to infuse over 30 minutes. So that's the first question. The first question asked us, and I'm going to go back to your email, it said, how many milliliters of magnesium sulfate will infuse with the 4-gram bolus? So in my opinion, the 30-minute part to that is kind of extra because it says we're gonna give this person 4 grams of this magnesium sulfate, but it's just going to be given to them over 30 minutes. The question is asking us, what would that come out to be in milliliters since magnesium comes in this way? Since magnesium sulfate comes in bags that are 40 grams per 1,000 milliliters, I simply want to know what that would be if she needs 4 grams. Well, what's that going to be in milliliters since it's packaged that way? Whereas the fact that we're giving it over 30 minutes is pretty irrelevant. It's not telling us that we need to give it at a certain rate. That's not what's being asked here. It doesn't ask, milliliters per hour or drops per minute or anything like that. It's simply just asking if she needs 4 grams. So again, here's that. What would that be based on the fact that it's packaged this way? What would that be in milliliters? So all we had to do is just like you've been doing, put that in a D over H times Q formula. Here's the ordered dose. Here's the dose that it comes in, 40 grams per every 1,000 milliliters. So when I divide that out, 4 divided by 40 is 0.1 times 1,000. This would be 100 milliliters. So that's what that translates out to mean, is that if she needs 4 grams of magnesium sulfate, then she would need to receive 100 milliliters of that IV. The rest of the problem then continued by saying, okay, then once you've done that, that's what you just start with. It says then once you've done that, then maintain the magnesium sulfate drip at 2 grams per hour. There's a couple ways you can look at this. Remember, we started with 4 grams to be given over 30 minutes. And that was the over 30 minutes was kind of irrelevant. So she just needed to receive, the point of that first question was she just was going to receive this 100 milliliters over 30 minutes. Now, that's what she's receiving at the start of it. After that 30 minutes is up, then that's when the maintenance comes in. It says we need to maintain that drip at 2 grams per hour. So a way that I kind of thought about that was if she needs 4 grams at the start, then that's what she's getting, at the very beginning. That translates to 100 milliliters. Well, the continuation is to get 2 grams. So half of that original, so that's going to be half of the amount of fluid. But if you want to take a look at it again, I would approach it the exact same way. Again, I just want to go back and highlight that. We're looking at the maintenance part, which is this right here. Again, it's all based on how that comes. So the way that I looked at that was that if we need to maintain that sulfate drip at I didn't mean to still use that highlighter there. Okay, at 2 grams, and again, this is per hour, but the second question is saying how many milliliters would that be per hour? Since it's already per hour, we don't have to think any more than that. It's just the fact, so really that's almost irrelevant right now because it already is per hour and it's asking us for hour. So I just want to know what would 2 grams be in milliliters. So based on the fact that, again, this is how magnesium is packaged, I would do the same thing that we did before. 2 grams divided by 40 grams per 1,000 milliliters. It's going to end up being very similar. 2 divided by 40 is going to be 0.05 times 1,000. That comes out to be 50 milliliters. And since it already was per hour, it's still per hour. So 50 milliliters per hour. So again, there's just more information given to us in that. The start with the 18 grams, begin LR at 75 milliliters per hour. Since we weren't asked about any of those, it was just simply asking, the 2 questions were asking about the magnesium sulfate. So I just stuck with just looking at what that question told me about magnesium sulfate. So it's a matter of just picking and choosing what I need from that question. So that's how I would approach that using that D over H times Q formula. I am going to attach a couple other videos to this email. Some other videos that sometimes when questions ask, as you mentioned in your email, that sometimes she has some questions about time of infusion or completion, some dilution scenarios. I'm going to just send you what I have that I've created already. If you have any other specific questions that you want me to walk you through, I would be glad to. Just shoot those my way, and I can do my best to kind of show you how I would pick certain parts out of that question, and I'll see if I can find some as well. But I hope that helps. Please let me know if it does. All right, thanks.